Why did Shella pick Pascal over Fabio, even though Fabio seemed like the obvious best choice? Fabio was invested, he reassured her, he adored her, he cut off his hoe for her, and he was ready to get married to her. There seemed to be a genuine attraction there, whereas Pascal seemed to be very detached, very nonchalant, and quite complacent. Pascal was very aware that Shella was his only option, and he was aware that other people were vying for Shella. But he was very much like, meh, if I get her, I get her. If I don't, meh. It actually had to be the other men in the quarters that were like, what are you doing? You need to write her a love letter. You need to dedicate yourself to her. Like, she is a phenomenal woman. What are you doing? He's talking about, yeah, I know that we would have a good thing, but like, I'm not sure if she's the right fit. Now, let's get into that. What did he mean by she's not the right fit? Because it's giving very much that black women are not his preference. It's giving very much that he usually dates white women. And that's who he finds the most attractive. Because he was talking about, sexual attraction is important to him. So when we link those two statements together, that's what it's giving. And if that's the case, you might be in danger, Shella. Unless you don't care about cheating. But anyway, as I established, Shella does go for Pascal. She cuts off Fabio. It does pay off, I guess, because Pascal does propose to her and they are engaged. But I'm quite frankly at this moment unconvinced of this relationship. And I feel like Shella may have made the wrong choice. Because on top of all of the red flags I've already mentioned, he basically said that he wants a woman to be like more emotionally invested than he is. And basically the woman is going to be the one to warm him up. And for me, that's a red flag. That is a red flag because this is somebody who wants you to be emotional so that he can manipulate you. Because it's harder to manipulate an emotionally detached person. It's easier to manipulate an emotional person, especially when they are like crazily in love with you. And that's personally why I'm against being in a relationship where I'm the one who's like crazily in love. No, it has to be the other way around. And I feel like that is the best dynamic in heterosexual relationships. Because these men have audacity and they love to take advantage. And I feel like that's what Pascal is plotting. He's plotting to take advantage. Now, they didn't seem to be in any drama in terms of the trailer for the next batch of episodes, but I'm still unconvinced. So anyway, why did Shella pick Pascal? I think it's because he was emotionally unavailable and maybe she's kind of attached to that. She said in the past, she's made choices where, she's given herself to men who have turned out to be dicks and assholes. And she's not going for that anymore. But it seems like that's what she's going for. And Pascal was even asking her that question. Oh, do you go for assholes? Do you go for assholes? And she was like, oh, not anymore. And he's licking his lips thinking, little do you know, I'm going to be your next asshole. Like, he's thinking, yes, this is perfect. It's very clear that Shella is insecure. She said she's dealt with a lot of infidelity in the past. For those of you who don't know, Düsseldorf is a very white area. And it's also very racist. Düsseldorf is the first place in Europe that my parents settled. And they went through it. Luckily for me, they made their ass to London before they popped me out. But I can only imagine what she has dealt with in her life and what she has been dealing with these German men. So I think maybe she has this complex where she's kind of drawn to the emotionally detached, slightly unattainable man. Like she basically said she's willing to put all of her eggs in Pascal's basket, even if it means that she leaves his single. In a show where you're trying to get married, where you basically have a guaranteed proposal, that is wild. The only other reason that I can think of is perhaps for a sprinkle reason, because I feel like Pascal seems more established than Fabio. I forgot what his job is, but I do think it's like a good job. A job where, you can provide for your wife. So if that is the case, Shella, then I take it all back. Sprinkle. But I still need my girl to have her wits about her because I just feel like Pascal is plotting to take advantage. But I gotta hear from you guys. Do you feel like Shella made the right decision? Do you feel like this was a good calculation, or do you feel like she was being a bit of a pick-me? Can you understand where she's coming from? Do you think Fabio was the better option? And is there anyone that thinks that maybe she should have just left single, like both of them probably weren't the best option? I'm gonna hear from you guys.